Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast for all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time. I'm Pastor Pope, and thank you for allowing us to come into your viewing environment. We are here every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time to address whatever topics you might like to discuss. Whatever issues of life you find challenging or that you find difficult to navigate, we are here for you to address those topics. You can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships. Whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind, God is concerned about that which concerns you. And so we are here in 3D, Daily Divine Direction broadcast, which is brought to you by Fiji Water. You may already know that Fiji Water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock. The water collects in a natural artesian aquifer where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is Earth's finest water. And I want to say to all of our listeners and viewers who continue giving on the give segment of our app to support the broadcast at New Life Delaware, and those of you that have made a monthly commitment to support the broadcast, we thank you for your commitment as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here to address whatever topics you might like to discuss, whatever issues of life you find challenging or that you find difficult to navigate. So you can call or text every day now on the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424. We are Facebook Live, we are YouTube Live, so you can communicate on our live stream, and we are here every day for you, scheduling permitted. Yesterday was an election day, so we were not on the air yesterday, and we hope that everyone has voted now and eliminated the distress from your lives regarding voting and accept the results when they are finally calculated and everything is in, and we will then know who the president of our country will be, and we will continue to pray for our president and for all of us to have the strength to endure the remainder of this pandemic, and that when we conclude this period of time of our lives, we will return to a better quality of life. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you have not been communicating or visiting with your family regularly during the pandemic. And you also indicated that you live very different lives, so you don't really have a lot of communication with them and you don't spend a lot of time visiting them, but now they want to get together for the holidays. And so let me first of all begin by saying this, and you want to know what you should do about this. So let me tell you that as I was prayerful about this, because I'm praying the peace of everyone, and one of the things you have to do is you have to keep your peace. You, first of all, indicated that you haven't been communicating with them or visiting them regularly during this pandemic, which implies that it's since the last 8 months, you have really not been communicating or spending time with them. And that's your choice. And the reason is because you live very different lives. So I got that also. You don't have to, and this is for all of our listeners and viewers also, you don't have to feel obligated to spend time with family and friends for the holidays. Everyone is not in the same frame of mind or in the same health and wellness condition to feel that you can effectively spend time with people when you don't really know what's going on in their lives. You don't know how much they're moving around. You don't know how much contact they've had with other people. So all of that has to be a factor, and you have to be very cautious about that. So let me make certain we're clear on this. You live very different lives than your family members anyway. So you already know how much time you want to spend with them or communicate with them. And you have a clear understanding of that. You have set up boundaries, and to God be the glory, you've got an understanding of what it means to set boundaries. And you're right, you do live a very different quality of life than your family members. You don't need to feel obligated to spend the holidays with them during a pandemic. It's one thing, and God allowed me to see in that secret place of your life. You do spend holidays with them whenever you are not traveling. And you travel to visit other people during the holidays from time to time. That's your life. But you will spend holidays with them occasionally. And particularly Thanksgiving. I get it. Here, here in America, we celebrate Thanksgiving. It's a time when traditionally people get together with their family members. But you don't have to, however, you don't have to feel obligated to do that. They know you're not traveling right now, which if you were traveling right now, there's a possibility you would be going someplace else to spend Thanksgiving. The reality is that you get to decide where you are in your health and wellness. You get to decide where you are in spending time with people in the midst of a pandemic. So you don't have to feel any sense of obligation or any sense of remorse that you're not going to be spending time with them for the holiday. You have to take care of yourself. You have to make certain that you stay safe and well and not expose yourself. And I get it, you're in good health, but not expose yourself to the possibility of having poor health. And you recognize that you have family members, just as God allowed me to see that secret place of your life. And many of us do have family members who don't take the same precautions that you take. And the reason is because they're not really concerned about their health and wellness. They're only concerned about living for today. So knowing that, you can set your own boundaries. And your own boundaries are, if someone can Zoom me in, I'd be happy to Zoom in and say hello to everyone, but I'm not going to be there for the holidays. And be okay with that. Family is a beautiful thing when you have family who are doing the right thing. But a lot of families right now, especially, you're of the generation behind myself. So, you're in a different age group and you're in good health, but the people behind you they're just living whatever way they want to live because that's who they are. So you don't have to feel a sense of remorse about not being with family during the holidays. And this is for all of our listeners and viewers. I understand that it's important to be with family. It's important to have contact with others because we're social beings. Human beings are social beings. Even those who are somewhat reclusive, people who are introverts, they still have a certain amount of social activity. And for the rest of us, you're going to have social activity with others because we're naturally social beings. But I say all of that to say, we still don't have a vaccine. We're still in the midst of a pandemic. So we have to pick and choose our moments. I'm not suggesting, and I don't want to get ahead of myself because I'll get into another communication, that came in, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. But the reality is that we have to recognize that because we don't have a vaccine and because we're still in the midst of a pandemic, we have to pick and choose when we go out and who we go out with. That's important. Who you are socializing with, who you're spending time with, because people are all over the place. And in order to stay safe and well, we have to take the necessary precautions. So I'm not a conspiracy theorist, although I do know that there are certain things done by design and with intent, but I don't leave the house without mask and gloves. And the reason is because it's important to stay safe and well. And when I say gloves, of course, just clear plastic, latex gloves. Just so that not only am I concerned about myself, but that if I were to come in contact with someone, that I'm not then placing it on another surface for someone else to come in contact with. It's the humanity that we have to be concerned about. And when I say that, it doesn't mean that we have to go back to being sheltered in place. That has been eliminated, thank God, now that we're able to continue moving forward. But you pick and choose your moments. You know where you're going and the people that you're around. You know that they're limiting their exposure because they want to stay safe and well, and they want others to stay safe and well. This is just a humanity issue. It's a public health issue, and we have to do our part. That's all. And that's the reality. So you pick and choose your moments, and the holidays are not a moment for you. They're more of an obligation than they are a moment of time that you need to be stimulated. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest nationwide 5G provider, at no extra charge. So if you are not currently a T-Mobile customer, you can call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will move you over into our queue so that you can become a T-Mobile customer at T-Mobile, America's largest nationwide 5G provider, at no extra charge. Taxes and fees will be included in your bill. And if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a monthly discount on your bill at T-Mobile, America's largest nationwide 5G provider, at no extra charge. I'm going to say to all of our listeners and viewers also, you do not want to miss tomorrow. We will have our monthly contributor, Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist, on the broadcast tomorrow, first Thursday of every month, from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, scheduling permitted. It's great having a dietitian and nutritionist on speed dial. And the reason is because we all need to stay healthy. We have to be concerned about our health and wellness. So we want to make certain that everyone is whole, body, mind, and spirit. And so tomorrow, once again, we will be joined by our monthly contributor, Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist. I've gathered communications that have come in throughout the month, and she will be answering all of those questions, and she's going to be sharing something with us that she wants to talk about for this month, and also providing us with a recipe, as she does every month. Don't miss tomorrow. You must be tuned in for 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you once again find yourself overwhelmed by what you have not gotten accomplished. You want to know, how do you find a method to get everything done? So first, everything begins with language. So let me first address your comment, how do you get everything done? You do not get everything done. There's always going to be something else to do. The moment you get everything done, you either are no longer needed in your professional environment, or you have a vision for your life that is too small. There's no such thing as getting everything accomplished. What you can do from day to day is complete the task that you have set for yourself. And if you complete those tasks by the end of the day, then tomorrow you start over with a new task list. If you do not complete all of the items on your list after you prioritize what needs to be done in order, then whatever is remaining from the day before, you move over to the next day. However, I want you to stop thinking about getting everything done. One of the reasons you are overwhelmed is because you believe that you should get everything done. There's no such thing. What we have to do is, if we get everything accomplished today that we want to get accomplished, then we should set higher goals for ourselves tomorrow. In other words, we have to keep moving forward. So you're not going to get done doing everything. It's not going to happen. However, now that we've got that established, what you want to focus more on is your time management. And people have heard me talk about this often, but I'm going to really say this to you because this is very applicable for you as an individual. You've got to manage your time effectively and efficiently. You have to certainly reduce the distractions in your life, but then you have to eliminate distractions. See, some distractions can be reduced, but they may not be eliminated. However, many distractions can be eliminated. So, we're all working from home right now. So one of the things that you've heard me announce is that we've had issues with our technology. Our platform went in and out on several occasions. And I ask you all, if we start buffering, just stay with us because it'll come back up. But I said all of that to say, you have to recognize that that's a distraction that we can reduce. Now, how do we reduce that? So I have to call our provider, and I have to get them to do a check in their system, and then I have to make certain our system gets restarted. And then if there's an issue with the live stream, I have to contact the live stream vendor and have them check their static system. And if there's an issue with our app, I have to contact the app vendor and the website and so forth and so on. Some distractions cannot be eliminated, but they can be reduced. Other distractions can be eliminated. And let me tell you what that looks like. For one, you have a habit of turning on the television because you're working from home every day. So you turn on the television, and while you're working, you get distracted by things on television. So you might spend 30 minutes to an hour watching a program that is never going to enhance the quality of your life. It's purely for entertainment. So you have to eliminate that. Make a conscious decision that you're not going to turn on the television through your workday, unless you're checking the stock report. I encourage that because all of us should be invested or should be investing. You can check the stock report. I will check it sometimes. Well, I check it first thing in the morning, and then whenever I take a break for lunch, I will watch it during my lunch. And then at the end of the day, when it's time for the closing bell, I may turn it on, I may not. And all I'm saying is you can at very least reduce distractions from your business day, and some you can eliminate. So you have to manage your time more effectively and efficiently. And then you have to prioritize tasks. You have to make a decision every day. So I review my schedule the night before, and then I review it again in the morning in case some emails have come in and something has something has changed. Because, we're all getting emails, and if you have any communications with people in any other parts of the world, there are going to be emails that come in while you're sleeping. There may be voicemails that come in while you're sleeping. That's why I encourage everyone to put your phone on mute at night. That's why I put mine on mute at night. And you have to recognize that there are going to be things that you can do to manage your time more effectively and efficiently. And you have to prioritize those tasks. So whatever comes in, review your schedule the night before. Whatever comes in the following, during the night, in the morning, make the adjustments in your schedule for the day. And then work the task list. Prioritize what's most important in getting completed today. What's most important for you to complete the first 2 hours of the day? What's most important for you to complete the second 2 hours of the day? What's the most important to complete the third 2 hours of the day? You've got to prioritize your task. And you've got to know what priorities are, because we're all dealing with an internal customer and an external customer in some way, shape, or form. You've got to know what your priorities are. And you have to prioritize them on a task list that you can tackle every single day. And that's how you're going to be effective and efficient. However, you're stressing yourself out about getting things done. Getting everything done. There's no such thing as everything is done. When Christ said to us, "It is finished," he died. We need to make certain we're working until the last day of our lives, the last hour of our lives, and the last minute of our lives, in some shape or form. Whether you're a life learner, you're retired and a life learner, whether you are in business, whatever it is you're doing, do it until the last moment of life. Because we're never going to get it done. And if we take on that mentality, we're going to find that we will have a better quality of life. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by Charles Tyrwhitt, located in London, the UK. They also have stores in New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and at the King of Prussia Mall in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. If you're in any of those areas, stop in at their retail stores. They have shirts for men, ties for men, suits for men, and accessories. If you are not in any of those areas, you can order from Charles Tyrwhitt at ctshirts.com. And right now you can order 3 high-quality cotton shirts from Charles Tyrwhitt for $99. We were at a different sale previously. For $99, 3 high-quality cotton shirts for $99 at Charles Tyrwhitt, ctshirts.com. And The White Company, located in London, the UK. They also have a store on 5th Avenue in New York. If you're in New York, stop in at the retail store. They have everything that you could possibly need. They have home goods, clothing for men, women, and children. And if you're not in New York, you can order from The White Company at thewhitecompany.com. Both companies will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. I want to remind all of our listeners and viewers, do not miss tomorrow. Again, first Thursday of the month, we will have with us our monthly contributor, Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist, who will be with us through the broadcast tomorrow from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Scheduling permitted. If there's any change, you'll be notified, but you don't want to miss this. We are making certain that everyone remains whole in body, mind, and spirit. So tune in tomorrow, 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, where we will receive information on our health and wellness, our diet and our nutrition from Rebecca Buva, our monthly contributor, licensed, registered dietitian and nutritionist. Tomorrow in 3D, the the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that the COVID-19 pandemic has disrupted your whole life. Okay, we'll get back to that language in a moment. You just want things to be normal again. You want to get out and do things. However, your husband refuses to go out and do anything during the pandemic. Okay, so two things working here. Back to the language. Your whole life has not been disrupted. Okay, you're working from home, so you're still employed. That's not a disruption. It may be different, but it's not disrupting your whole life. You are still in good health. The problem that you're having is one simple thing. And I don't want it to sound like I'm ignoring your concern, but it's one issue that you have, and that is that you want things to be normal again. However, what you haven't accepted is that what was normal prior to the pandemic is not going to be normal until the pandemic comes to an end. And even that's going to look different. However, the going out and doing things, when the pandemic has concluded, and let's make certain that we're all up to speed on this. COVID, the coronavirus, is not going anywhere. It's here. It's not going anywhere. What we have to learn to do is live with it. The first steps that we can take is when there's a vaccine available, take the vaccine. That's the first thing that we can do. The second thing is we're going to continue in some cases wearing masks and gloves because some people are not going to take the vaccine. Just like people don't take flu shots, there's going to be, as much as I would encourage everyone that as soon as we are certain that the vaccine is safe and that everyone is able to get vaccinated, I encourage everyone to take the vaccine, to be vaccinated. However, just because I encourage everyone doesn't imply everyone's going to do that. And how do I know that? Because there are people who don't take a flu shot every year. Some people say that it doesn't agree with them. Some people just don't want to take it because they think that, there's something that is not quite right about having to inject yourself with something other than what is in your normal body. I get it. Those are choices that we all get to make. However, this vaccine for COVID is something that if you take the vaccine, once it's been proven to be effective, it will help us to live with COVID. Because we're going to have to learn to live with it. We're going to have to learn to continue doing some of the things that we're doing, like using cleaning supplies to disinfect certain areas. We're going to be doing all of those things differently now. Different than we did them previously, in the past. So it's something we're going to have to learn to live with. However, once the vaccine is available and once you've been vaccinated, you will be able to go out and do the things that you enjoy doing once again. Now, your husband is a different individual. And I don't mean different from everybody else on the planet. I mean just different from you. He's an individual just like you're an individual. Now, you collectively might decide what's good for your household about being vaccinated, but he's not in the frame of mind yet that he is willing to go out. And even though you didn't share this in your communication, God allowed me to see in that secret place of your lives. One of the reasons is because he has some underlying health concerns. So he's not willing to take that risk. And truth be told, just because you are dealing with COVID fatigue, you need to take into consideration that's not good for your husband. to be out moving around. Things will become normal again. It's just that we don't know what the new normal is going to look like completely. We're going to have to live with whatever is available for us to do as we move forward with our lives. Today's Daily Divine Direction broadcast